Yeah. I actually think more people are going to start turning to product management in this economic environment. So like everybody's got the recession scaries right now. I'm not a financial like analyst, so I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen with the market because I don't know. But I could see like how people are reacting to whatever's going on with all their layoffs and stuff like that. Um, Look, it's like when times get tough, companies need to figure out how to scale and preserve cash. How do you do that? You scale through repeatable technology products. Product management becomes more important than ever right now because you can't just like, you can't keep operating the way you were. And a lot of people would just hire a bunch of people and be like, everything's good. We got tons of cash. Just go build stuff. Right. So now product strategy is more important than ever because you have to prioritize, you have to lock it down, you have to make sure that you're not spending over your means and that all the things that you are investing in are going to have an ROI. Who does that? The chief product officer usually does that. Like that's their job. So you need a chief product officer now more than you've ever needed one. And if you don't have discipline in those things and everything's just been honky dory because you were making cash and everything was wonderful in the market, it's starting to turn. So you need to be, as a chief product officer, front and center. But the conversations you should be having right now are how do we continue to scale well and scale our revenue without scaling our costs? That's the conversation that you should be leading with your company. You should be making sure that you're bringing that up to the executive team. And I'm sure they're going to appreciate those conversations because that's what they're thinking. And you should be bringing ideas, right, on where you can invest, how you can set product strategy that will help with these things, and make sure that you're really looking towards it. The companies that, we're scaling through services, or let me just throw people at the problem instead of, really identifying and solving that problem, they're the ones that are going to struggle if they don't turn it around and really take a nice scientific approach. So like you need to investigate why we're building things and make sure there's a really good business case for it, based off proof from testing with your customers, proof from interviewing your customers, proof from the data crunching, like what your portfolio is doing now and informing it. And you got to make sure that it is aligned towards the scale that you want to go at, without growing all of these costs. And you got to make sure that you're looking at what can you optimize throughout the company to really be there. So those are the types of conversations you should be having now if you're a chief product officer in this environment. And I get ahead of it because it's going to help. And that's going to help people like feel more secure about what they're going into. The hard part I will say right now too, is that for the companies who have not been great at product management, they're going to struggle. A lot of them try to do a transformation right now when things get tough. I remember it from like 2008 times and like right after they all go, hey, let's fix this. Let's do the product management thing. And if they're not starting now and they're not really invested in it, it's going to be really hard to turn that ship around. Transformations I've led a bunch of them. They take like years, 4, 5, 6 years. ING started their agile transformation and they're doing some sort of product transformation now, but like they started this close to like 15 years ago and they're still going. They said, we're still transforming. And like, sure, they're way better than they were when they started now. But it's a never ending process, right? Like it takes a lot to turn a company that never operated this way around into a company that does operate this way. And the people who didn't invest in it before, I think are going to be really struggling during these times. But I will say for all the product managers out there in the audience, they're probably going to be hiring because they need more product managers. And some of the other roles that we see out there are probably going to get cut, but they need people with discipline who can say no and who can prioritize things in the best interest of their company. And I think that's going to be incredibly important.